All right, we're back. I hope this mic works. I just figured out a way to plug my mic into my camera. Am I not a genius now? I didn't even know that before. So what I was doing was record. We don't give a fuck. All right, we don't give a fuck. Welcome back. It's our monthly videos. I'm just kidding. I uploaded like 3 weeks ago, right? So it hasn't been a month completely. But yeah, we're back. Let's not talk about what happened last time. Actually, let's talk about it. I was wrong. I probably bet Mateus Gamrot. It's Peter Yan. I'll say TJ Dillashaw. I'll go Charles Oliveira. And listen, I am disappointed. I am extremely disappointed. But long story short, it was a tough night. To tell you the story, I was actually watching the fights in my car on my way to Orlando. We were driving from Montreal, Canada, all the way to Orlando to take a cruise, and we stopped like in New York, somewhere in New York, and then we tried to get in a bar that we had found like on the UFC web page where you can go and just sit down and watch the fights. But then as we walk in the club, or not the club, the bar. We walk in the bar and then we realize they're not playing the fights. So I asked the guy, I'm like, "Are you guys playing the fights?" And he's like, "Nah, we don't even know it's happening right now." So we're like, holy shit, this is tough. Because remember, UFC 280 was like a weird time. It was like 3 or 4 p.m., something like that the main event started. So it was weird. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm not even going to take a chance to like run around the city, try to find a bar that shows the fight. I'm just go in my car, use my LTE, and watch it on my computer. So I went back to my car, just went, did the hotspot thing to my phone, to my computer, and watched it on my computer. So I'm kind of annoyed. I would have preferred like sit down and being able to analyze everything, because I feel like when I watch it and I'm like super focused, I miss a lot of important things. But overall, I just know that I was wrong on each of my predictions. Damn, it was a rough night on October 22nd. I wanted to jump off a building, but yeah, fortunately I was on vacation, so I could like distract myself. But yeah, we're over that. It's over. Shout out to Islam Makhachev. That motherfucker is super dominant. Yeah. It is what it is, man. I don't want to talk for too long, so I'm gonna start the predictions with Dominic Reyes versus Ryan Spann. I think Dominic Reyes has done the right thing by taking, I think it's at least a year and a half off, right? It's been a while since he's competed, but I think it's for the best because he suffered, a few bad losses. But overall, Dominic Reyes was one of the most talented fighters in the light heavyweight division. I think he arguably beat John Jones that night, and I think if he took the right amount of time off, if he was able to reset mentally as well, not just physically, but mentally as well, to be able to gain some confidence back with training and stuff like that, I think he's a problem for the division. I really do. So I'm gonna go Dominic Reyes here. I'm gonna go Dominic Reyes by TKO. So you know what? Fuck this. No. Cause then it becomes too difficult. I don't even want to say by what. I just want to. Nah, I have to. But it's just let's just make the pick what it is. All right. If I pick Dominic Reyes and he wins. I win. All right. Let's make that a thing. It doesn't matter what I say if it's TKO decision. I'm gonna just say that because it adds a little bit of spice to the video. I'm gonna go Dominic Reyes. I'm going to go Dominic Reyes by TKO in the second round. Brad Riddell versus Renato Moicano. Oh, this is a tough one. This is a tough one to predict, man. I'm not going to lie. Fuck. I think I have to go Brad. I just trust the team, the Izzy team, a lot. I know they work very, very hard. But Moicano is just so tough. I have trouble seeing Riddell finishing Moicano, but I would be able to see Moicano finishing Riddell. So if it's a finish, it's probably going to be Moicano. If it's a decision, it's probably going to be Riddell. If I had to put my money, I'll go Brad Riddell by decision. It's a 3-round fights, so yeah, I don't think there's going to be a finish in this fight. They're just very, very, very talented dudes that are up very similar level in my opinion. But like I said, I could be totally wrong. I'm going to go Brad Riddell by decision. Let's move on. Dan Hooker versus Claudio Puelles. I think that's how you say his name, Peru, right? He's Hispanic, so Puelles. Claudio Puelles. Dan Hooker is also on a bad streak. Unfortunately, he's fought Arnold Allen, Islam, but Islam turned out to be kind of a loss that aged like fine wine. Then there was Michael Chandler. There was Dustin Poirier. He got a win in the middle against another guy. I don't remember his name, but we know what we're talking about. So I think he's 1-4 in his last 5, which is not the best record. But he fought great guys. He fought tough guys. I think, like I said, it's kind of similar with Dominic Reyes. He took some time off, and if he was able to reset mentally, I think Dan Hooker is a great lightweight. I don't think he's top 5. I don't think he's top 7, but he's there. I think he's a top 10 lightweight right now. He's long, rangy, and if he can keep distance against Claudio, I don't remember. Look, we have it here. How long is? Oh, he's 5'11". He's not small. Okay, he looked a bit smaller in the press conference, but I'm gonna go Dan Hooker by decision. But like I said, UFC puts up guys like Claudio that we don't really know about because they know there's a potential right there. You know, you put him against a veteran like Dan Hooker to bring his name up. But I'm gonna still go Dan Hooker. Frankie Edgar versus Chris Gutierrez. Let me go see who Chris Gutierrez is. Okay, so they picked a guy that wasn't like the top of the bantamweight division. He hasn't fought a lot of, he hasn't fought high competition. I don't recognize a single name in here. Vince Morales, Andre Ewell, Felipe Diaz Colares, Batgero Dana. I don't know who that is, but look, all right, I'm gonna go Frankie Edgar. I'm gonna go Frankie Edgar by decision. I don't know if Chris Gutierrez has that power. I haven't seen him fight, like I said, enough times to make a well-known, articulate prediction. But I'll say I think Frankie Edgar is not over the hill like people think he is. He had fights against some of the top bantamweights in the world. You can look at it, Marlon Vera, Corey Sanhagen, Pedro Munoz, the Korean Zombie, Max Holloway, Cub Swanson, Brian Ortega, Yair Rodriguez, Jeremy Stevens, Jose Aldo, Chad Mendes. I mean, the list goes on and on. Uriah Faber, Cub Swanson again, BJ Penn, Charles Oliveira. And he beat Charles Oliveira. That is a crazy one to look at. That is a crazy one to look at. But yeah, I mean, the resume of Frankie Edgar is actually one of the most underrated ones. Like, I just realized the guy fought everybody. And if he doesn't get knocked out, I don't see Chris Gutierrez like outpointing Frankie Edgar. Frankie Edgar is fast. He's able to slip well and stuff like that. So I'm going to go Frankie Edgar by decision. Dustin Poirier versus Michael Chandler. Listen, this fight is amazing. The guy that works with me on Instagram, he actually made a reel out of one of my, I think it was out of the Deeper Dive, and he put in the caption, he said, the people's main event. And it's funny because I texted him back. I'm like, the people's main event? What are we talking about here? Adesanya Pereira is definitely the main event. Like, nobody's like debating on that. And then since I actually said this to him, I think I've seen like 5 or 6 posts with people just saying that Dustin Poirier and Chandler is the people's main event. Poirier versus Chandler is a fight that we've been anticipating for a while. We've known it was going to happen for a little while, I think. And it was the right fight to make. But I don't want to speak like too fast and like make it as if it's a no contest. But from what we've seen from Michael Chandler, I'll say this, from what we've seen from Michael Chandler in the past in his 4 UFC fights that he's had, I don't think he has a chance against Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier is extremely seasoned. He has poised like I haven't seen in the UFC a lot. Fighters, like, they get very excited, they lose stamina. I feel like Poirier is extremely poised. He remains calm. He keeps his composure very well. Even in chaos, that's what makes him very good, because even though he's like in the middle of chaos, I feel like he's able to remain calm, stick to his game plan, and it's like a work of art when you look at Dustin Poirier fight. Basing my expectations on what we've seen from Michael Chandler, but if he comes out trying to wrestle the whole time against Poirier, it might be a different fight, because Poirier do get tired from wrestling fast, and he does have like different decision making when it comes to grappling, because I remember seeing him fight against Charles Oliveira, where in the second round he decided to stay on the ground and not get up for the whole round, and even the commentators were like, there's something wrong. But he referred to it back to the Khabib fight, where he said, I should have just decided to lose the round instead of getting caught in a submission. So I think sometimes Dustin Poirier can be a bit like, if there's an area in MMA where Dustin Poirier is not as confident, it's definitely on the ground, and it's grappling. And if you're not as confident somewhere, it can take a toll on you mentally and physically, make you drain, like it could drain you. So if Michael Chandler wants a chance to win, I think he has to wrestle. I don't see a way where, other than like landing a very like, I don't know, surprising and out of the blue shot and that knocks him out, I don't see Michael Chandler outboxing Poirier or outstriking Poirier in any fashion. Poirier's taller, longer, has longer reach. So like I said, I think Poirier wins. I think Poirier wins convincingly. Let's go on to the next one. Esparza versus Zhang Weili. I'm gonna be fast on this one, because the women's fight just doesn't resonate as much. Like it's sad just because the women's division aren't as filled. So it's like you see a lot of rematch, you see a lot of fights that like it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, because you see Carla Esparza beat Rose Namajunas, Zhang Weili got beat by Rose Namajunas twice. So it's like, what are we even doing here? But the last fight with Carla and Rose was disastrous, and we didn't want to see it again. I guess the UFC didn't want to see it again, so they put Zhang Weili in, which is, in my opinion, she's one of the best. She's one of the best. She almost beat Rose in the second fight as well. I think Zhang will win this pretty fast. TKO first round. I don't think Carla will be able to get a hold of her. She's too slow. I don't want to be mean, but Carla is a bit too slow. She's the reflex is not as there. Zhang is like a juggernaut. I said this in the deeper dive. She looks like a small pit bull. She runs at you. She's fast. She's extremely explosive. And I don't think, like, even if Carla shoots for a takedown, if Zhang is just able to get a little distance, sprawl the right way, and just ground and pound her, I think it's over. As soon as Zhang gets puts her hands on Carla, it could be over fast. But like I said, I could be wrong, but that's my prediction. I'm gonna go Zhang Weili by TKO KO in the first round. Let's go on to the main event: Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. Wow, what a fight. I saw a cool clip, because for some reason the press conference was actually yesterday on a Wednesday, which was weird. I think they wanted to do like face off at the Empire State Building today. I saw some videos about that. So they didn't do, as usual, the press conference on Thursday. They did it Wednesday. And I saw a clip where they went face to face, and it was so, how can I say this? I'm not fighting, and I felt scared. Alex Pereira just goes up to Israel, and he says to him, mind you, he doesn't even speak English. He just says, look at me.
Look at me. I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. No English, bro. No English. Solidly. Thank you, James.
Because Adesanya was just looking around. He wasn't really looking in his eyes. So Alex is just looking, trying to find an eye contact, and he says, look at me. I don't know. I felt chills when I actually watched that video for the first time. It was great, and it caught Adesanya by surprise as well, because for a few seconds he didn't even reply. He was like, all right, I'm gonna look at you. And then he looked at him like, I have to say something back. So he said something like, yeah, I'll be there. I'm there. I'll be there. But anyways, Alex Pereira is a scary motherfucker. I'll just say that. But when it comes down to it, I think Adesanya is a better mixed martial artist. I think Adesanya has more experience. I think Adesanya is younger. I don't think he is younger. He's fresher. It's just, it's not kickboxing. I think Adesanya is scared. I will say this. I think Adesanya is scared just as we are when we look at Pereira, because it's a very scary individual. But I don't think Adesanya will get affected by that emotion, by those scary feelings. Because you can be scared, doesn't mean it will impact your performance. And I think being scary can often help you be more focused, help you be more alert, help you get prepared for something, right? When you're scared, it gives you a reason to get up in the morning. So I think Adesanya definitely is scared, but it won't affect his performance. I think he will be able to channel those emotions just like he does so well. I think he's one of also the calmest UFC champions that we have. He looks so zen every time he competes. It looks for him like it's just another walk, but I know he prepares himself physically and mentally for these moments, and he shows that he's one of a kind. He's really one of a kind. I did wanted to say something about the criticism Adesanya has received. I don't get it. I don't get it why you guys are so mad at Adesanya for his last fight. Even if he wins by points, even if he's just jabs and leg kicks Alex Pereira for 5 rounds, which I don't think is going to happen because Pereira is an extremely good kickboxer. But if he does do that, then hey, shout out to Adesanya, because that is extremely difficult. Have you ever tried to do it? Like just leg kick and jab someone for 25 minutes and avoid every single punch? Try to do it, and you'll see it's extremely more difficult than you think. I really hope Adesanya gets the victory, and I think he will. But we never know, because Pereira, just looking at the picture, he's a scary-ass individual. So, yeah. Those are my predictions. So I'm gonna recap everything, all right? I'm gonna go Dominic Reyes by second round TKO. I think a year and a half off was the best thing he could have done. I just hope he was able to reset mentally and physically. If he does, I think, like I said, Dominic Reyes is one of the best. I see him being Ryan Spann. Second round TKO. Brad Riddell versus Renato Moicano. I will go with Brad Riddell by decision. I think Riddell is just very sound on the striking wise. I don't know if Renato Moicano will try to grapple, but if they stay on the feet, which I think will happen, I think Riddell will be able to touch him up a little bit and win by decision. We'll just have to wait and see. Dan Hooker versus Claudio Puelles. I will go Dan Hooker by decision as well. I think Claudio just... Oh my God, I don't know, I just don't know. The way I see it is I just see Dan Hooker being able to touch him and stay at range. But you never know, because I thought that was going to happen against Arnold Allen, and Arnold just pressured him the whole fight, the time it lasted. He just walked forward. If Claudio tried to kickbox with Dan Hooker, I think Dan Hooker will be okay. So that's the way I see it. I see Dan Hooker winning by decision. Keeping his distance, staying long. I think he gets the job done. Frankie Edgar versus Chris Gutierrez. I will go Frankie Edgar by decision, unless Chris just lands a bomb. Because I think Frankie is, as old as he still is fast. He still has pretty decent reflex timing. You saw it in his fight against Chito Vera. Good movement, good timing and stuff like that. So if he doesn't get caught by a big shot, I could see Frankie Edgar being able to win. And for the first time in a while, a good legend will be able to walk away from the sport with the W. It's been a while since we've seen it, and I predict that Frankie Edgar will be the first one in a while to do it. So let's go, Frankie. Dustin Poirier versus Michael Chandler is going to be more one-sided than you think. I will pick Dustin Poirier by late TKO, either third round TKO or by decision pretty convincingly. I don't see Michael Chandler being able to strike with Dustin at all. Like I said, there's an intangible here if Michael decides to shoot for takedowns all night long, but I don't know if he has the gas tank to do that. So we'll have to wait and see. My prediction is Dustin Poirier by late TKO or convincing decision. Carla Esparza versus Zhang Weili. I will go Zhang Weili by first round TKO or KO. I just don't see Carla being able to compete with Zhang in any way. I think she's just too slow for Zhang. Zhang is explosive as hell. She's a small pit bull. She runs towards everybody. And it takes a level of timing and speed and something that Rose had to be able to take down Zhang. I don't even think Carla will be able to take Zhang down like that so easily. So I'm going Zhang Weili by first round TKO. And then Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. I will go Israel Adesanya by third round TKO. I think Adesanya is the better mixed martial artist. As crazy as you might think, I even think he's the better striker from what we've seen. Even those two fights, outside of like singular moments that can always happen in MMA, I think Israel Adesanya is just overall a better fighter. And I think he can use the emotions the emotions that this all brings in favors. You know what I mean? Like, being scared isn't bad. It isn't a bad thing. So if he's able to like control those emotions and channel them positively, I think, like I said, he will be able to outclass Alex Pereira pretty easily in any facets of the game. But there's always the doubt with Alex Pereira. But I do see Adesanya winning by 3rd round TKO. We'll have to see what happens. Those are my predictions. I talked for long enough. I talk like crazy. It's crazy how long I talk, and I usually don't even say anything too crazy. I said crazy 3 times in the last sentence. I need to shut the fuck up and just close this camera so I can post this and edit it. But yeah, let me know your prediction down below. Your deepest prediction down below. Do you think I'm wrong or do you think I'm right? And you can come back after the fights and tell me how wrong I was on certain predictions. But Dominic Reyes, Brad Riddell, Dan Hooker, Frankie Edgar, Dustin Poirier, Zhang Weili, and Israel Adesanya will all be victor on Saturday night. We'll have to wait and see if I'm right, because I probably am not, because that's a lot of predictions. Fuck! I have to redeem myself, man. I have to redeem myself. I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace out.